Yeah, what's up? Beast Boxing Basement. The trip will be, yeah. So, yeah, remember to like the video and all other videos because it stops the circling haters, like the algo. You know? Anyway, yeah. So the video I did on Daniel Dubois, and his alleged girlfriend, who has huge hands, an enormous head, both bigger than Daniel, who's 6'5", behemoth. Yeah. He has no hips, no breastises, but apparently it's Daniel's first girl. Now, I say first girl, like, I don't know, man. He's never shown women before, you know? And he's never been known to have a girlfriend, and suddenly he pops up, this is my new girl, innit? And he keeps on changing the photos. I think he watches these videos because, like, yeah, he had some photos of this alleged girl looking like a man. And he took them down. Now there's only one picture there. Oh, I think he knows. I mean, Daniel ain't the sharpest tool in the box. Yeah, he's thick, isn't he? I mean, in a likable way, you know, in a likable way. But you know, he's a simpleton, right? A simpleton. He doesn't really know what's going on, man. You know, he's probably got the mental age of a kid. People say he's an autist. I don't think so. I just think he's just an imbecile, you know, moronical. You know, he's got the mental age of a child. He's like a big kid who doesn't really know what's going on. He probably thought he had a girl. He don't really understand. Yeah. No, what do you mean it's a man, innit? Well, he used to have a Corey. Yeah, but hasn't got no Corey. Yeah, but he used to have a Corey. Yeah, but it looked like a girl, innit? Does it look like a girl, Daniel? Does it? You know? No, but well, bruv, I see in the papers that girls can have Corys, innit? Anyway, poor old Daniel. I feel quite sorry for Daniel Dubois, yeah? Why? Because, you see, he doesn't seem like a nasty guy. He seems likeable. He said that weird thing about, you remember Joe Joyce's mum, I'm glad that she can't see properly, or because then she won't see me beat you up, innit? Or whatever he said. Now, he was so obviously fed that line by Fish Eyes. When you see that, Fish Eyes is like, you know, he's loving it. He's grinning. Look at him. He's so proud of his line he fed his big Gollum buck.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do you a favour. Because you can't see your son after he's been knocked out, you'll spare the heartache. You'll be spared the heartache.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very nice. You know, that was a bit unpleasant, but, you know, that's not really Daniel Dubois, I don't think. You know, he ain't really that nasty. You know, like I said, I feel a bit sorry for him. Because, like, he's been groomed since birth. Yeah? By his father to be a heavyweight champion. And he won't make it either. Because he lacks heart. His heart isn't really in this, you know? You know? Like I said, he's been forced into it. He's been getting pumped full of HGH. I mean, look at the huge bumps. The trademark HGH deformed hands that both the Gay J and Daniel Dubois have, right? It's obvious that he's been forced, Dubois, triple knee, Daniel Dubois, has been forced full of HGH, yeah, which has made him grow big and forced to box by his dad, yeah. And I don't think that suits him. I don't think he really wants to box, really. I mean, you've seen it in the fact he's quit, you know? He's quit several times. You know, that's why they call him triple knee, Daniel Dubois. He quit against Joyce. He quit against Usyk. He was about to quit against Lorena. He would have happily been stopped then. He went down 3 times, Dubois, from one punch against a South African cruiserweight. You know, he doesn't want to be here in the ring. Yeah, he'd rather be living somewhere warm. You know, nice tropical climate. You know, just walking around at a leisurely pace, eating bananas all day. Yeah, and other tropical fruits, pineapples, mangoes, and doing a bit of, you know, heavy lifting for the local businessman, like the local fisherman, local farmer, whatever, man. You know, just lifting heavy stuff because he's big. You know, he's a big lump. You know, like back in Grenada. Is it Grenada? Yeah, where he's from. You know, that's where his family come from, right? His dad comes from, man. And it's a chilled out place, man. It's got a really low crime rate for Caribbean country. You know, it's not like Jamaica, which is a bit dangerous. You know, violent, full of crack, and evil brothers like Screwface and marked for death. You know? Because Screwface give me 1,000 death worse than you know, blood clot. Yeah, but Grenada's chilled out. It's nice, man. Lovely weather, like I said. A good tourist trade. You know, it's got a small population, about 125,000 people in there, man. You know, laid back lifestyle. And you can see Daniel's kind of laid back. It would suit him to live there. That's what he really wants, man. You know, he'd go around doing odd jobs, you know, and get paid in, you know, fruit, mangoes, bananas, maybe a couple of fish, you know, and one beer. You know, they give him, Daniel's only allowed one beer a night, right? Right, because more than one beer, and Daniel, Daniel can become a bit too friendly with the women, especially those with a big bunda, you know. Too many beers, and Daniel would become a Grenadian version of Purple Aki. Yeah, except instead of measuring white rugby boys' thighs, he would measure women's bundas. So he's kept away. He's only allowed one beer a night, but he's okay with that. He's okay with that, you know. Well, like I said, wandering around during the day, doing odd jobs, lifting, collecting nutmegs, you know. Grenada is very well known for nutmegs, right? They've got one on the actual flag, right? And he would collect these nutmegs, and he'd be able to carry loads of them, wouldn't he, you know? Because he's so strong, and he'd sell them to the local store, you know. They'd probably give him produce. Because Daniel, he ain't the sharpest tool in the book. He doesn't really understand money. I don't want this in it. What good is this paper? What is this paper for? Give me some mango and beer in it. Now, Daniel, you've had your beer for the day. All right. Here's a couple of fish. All right. Oh, thanks, innit? Yeah. And, you know, if he was in Grenada, like, you know, on Sundays, you know, Daniel would get up. Because he lived with his mother, right? He loves his mother, and she loves him too, you know? You know, and he goes to the Pentecostal church with his mum, where he's known to heartily bellow hymns, you know? In a very, very deep and surprisingly soulful voice, you know? You know, people like to hear Daniel heartily bellow his hymns out, yeah? And then after church, after a little bit of lunch that his mum makes, Sunday afternoon is David's favourite time. Daniel DuBois' favourite time, because the weekly game of cricket happens in the sunshine. And you know, Daniel is a very important team member for his local village, right? And that's both as a fast bowler and a very powerful but, you know, very erratic batsman. A bit erratic, Daniel, because, you know, you're very powerful. But unfortunately, like some of the local teams, they refuse to play if Daniel is bowling because, you know, he's very powerful. And his lack of accuracy results in several key members of the opposing team being injured. You know, he's not very accurate with his bowling. You know, the body line happens by mistake. But Daniel has scored more sixes than any other village player in Grenadian history, man. Right? Although his slug, you know, every single ball that comes his way, he goes to slug every ball. That tactic has also resulted in more golden ducks than any other player on the island. Right? But, you know, if he's got his iron and he's playing well, he can change the whole game. Yeah? Yeah, he's scored like 6 sixes in 1 over. He's got the record on the island for sixes. And he's especially useful against one of the local villages, their best spinner, yeah? The self-styled and well-known fabled Raj of spin, Super Sanjeet Singh, right? And Daniel DuBois, he ain't got the brains to work out what the spin's going to throw. He just walks up to the centre of the wicket and cracks Super Sanjeet Singh's spinballing all over the shop. Yeah, he's like the kryptonite to Super Sanjeet Singh's spinning. So they love him. They love Daniel. The friendly buck, the friendly big buck who sings heartily at the church. Yeah, who performs acts of strength for local businessmen. Yeah, and he plays well for the village cricket team. And then after the match, win or lose, and Daniel, him and mother make oil down, a traditional Grenadian stew. It's considered to be the national dish. Yeah, and the name refers to a dish cooked in a coconut milk until the milk is absorbed, leaving a bit of coconut in the bottom of the pot. Earlier recipes called for a mixture of salted pigtail, pig's feet, salt beef and chicken, dumplings made from flour, and provision like breadfruit, green banana, yam, and potatoes. Kalalu leaves are also sometimes used to retain the steam and add extra flavour. And Daniel mother, she'll make the best oil stew on the island, But he's happy, Daniel. The son, the locals love him as he's helpful, he's likeable, he's no trouble. As long as he sticks to his maximum of one beer. One beer. He can't have more than one beer. And occasionally some of the local hoods, we're trying to exploit Daniel because he's big and, intimidating because of his size and trying to make him become a debt collector or come on, money collecting expeditions like Sonny Liston, to try and intimidate people that owe them money. But, his mother keeps an eye out for that, and if she catches Daniel conversing with the local hoods, she runs up to him and slaps him on the back of the head. Daniel, what are you doing, And grabs his ear, pulls him by his ear all the way back to the house, shouting, "You're not talk to them a bad man, Yeah. And that night he gets no food, he gets no oil stew from the mother because he's been bad and he's talking to them a bad man, Yeah. He's like, Daniel's like the black version of Hughie Fury, in my opinion, A simpleton, but a sweet guy, essentially. A nice guy. A massive lump. Like the black version of Lenny of Mice and Men, He's got huge strength and he obviously needs to control it, but essentially a likeable, low IQ simpleton who just wants a simple life, man. Like Hughie. Hughie just wants to, work. Get up at 6 a.m., do some work, tarmacking, whatever, something physical. Come back to his caravan to find his woman cooking a huge stew, an Irish stew. And he comes and he goes, "Woman, that's the best stew. You make the best stew in all of the park." And he sit down to his stew. He gets served first, Hughie. Destroys 4 litres of stew. The chavies also tuck into their stew. The woman don't even get to sit down at the table, blood. Yeah. And then Hughie goes out to the forest, takes a huge dump. When he come back, the chavies are in bed. Everything's clean. The woman is down on the bed. "Do you fancy any of this tonight, Hughie?" He's like, "Yeah, all right." He grabs some. There ain't no conversation apart from that. There ain't no foreplay. And there ain't no kissing. There ain't no stupidness like that. He just gets on top if he fancies it. Gets his piece. He doesn't even make any noises when he busts a nut because Hughie, that's not manly, is it? That's not manly to go, it's weak. That's it, man. Turns over, goes to sleep. 9 p.m. Next morning, gets up, more grafting. Yeah, and Daniel's the same, but Daniel's like the Caribbean version of Hughie Fury. He gets up. His mama, cooks some nice yams or whatever for breakfast. She gets her big buck Daniel, who she loves. It's sweet, And Daniel gets up, he wanders the beach, picking up nutmegs, helping some of the fishermen pull in their boats or something, lift stuff. He can't do anything delicate with his huge hands, but he's got strength. They give him a fish, and he wanders over to, The local farmer, and the farmer needs him to move some crates. He gives him some mangoes, and then it carries on like that. If there's any trouble at the bar, there's a bar late night where there's some tourists. They get too drunk, and the bartender just goes, Daniel. And Daniel just looks at him and they go, hey, oh, sorry, bro. Sorry, brother. Because he's so frightening looking, he's so big. And then Daniel, he gets his beer. He drinks it. Can't wait till Sunday. Church, cricket, oil stew, and Mama Shia look after him, That's the kind of life that I think Daniel should have had. Instead, he'd been pumped full of PEDs, HGH. He's been, in Grenada, right? His mum would eventually, I don't know, I don't think there'd be any woman good enough for Daniel. He wouldn't be, he'd want to be with his mum. Not in that way, but, he probably would. He's just one of them huge guys. He's not even interested, in intercourse. He just wants oil stew, 1 beer a night, and everyone's going, hey, Daniel, what's happening? Slap him on the back. But now they've forced him full of HGH. They forced him to box. He don't want to box. Look at him, man. He's like, why this man be, he don't want this man hitting him. He don't like the man hitting him. He just takes a knee. He's like, why is this man hitting me? Why is he being mean to me? He takes a knee because he knows how to stop it. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be pumped full of HGH. It's ruined his huge hands. And now they've fixed him up. They've linked him up with some transformer. Some transformer. And he don't know any better. He doesn't know it's not a female. He don't know no better than that. Yeah, to me it's disgusting the way they've treated Daniel. I want to, the other life in the Caribbean sun would be what he really wants and what he'd really like. I think it's a shame, man. It's a shame.